Okay everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. We're back on GT Sport and we're back with the GR.3 daily race at Bathurst, and what a race this was. It took me a long time to get used to this car. This was after about 4 or 5 races. We got took out on the race before us by the guy that's in front of us. He just dive bombed us into the last corner. Whether it was deliberate or not, I'm not too sure. It was a very dodgy move, but this race was much better. We started to change the way we drove it. Although I found out after I'd done the race how the guy in second place, sorry, is the guy from the Suzuki who we have the great battles with. Yeah, messaged me after and told me how he was managed to keep the speed and save the fuel. But I wasn't aware of that at this point. So this race was just doing it my own way. We got an okay way of doing it, I think, but it wasn't the optimal way. But what a great race this was! You can see there as the carry guy makes a mistake into. Carry Wax or whatever it is, carry WX, made a mistake into turn 1, got on the dirt on the braking zone, lost it, and we took advantage and got ourselves into third position. So now, as you can see, we've got 2 other cameras rolling on this video. We've got the behind view from the car we're chasing down, so you can watch us from that view. I really do enjoy watching that view. And we've got the TV replay camera in the top right hand corner, so you can see the action from the TV perspective, and obviously the main camera in our car riding on board from our helmet view. As you can see there, we're pushing reasonably hard. We're not taking too many risks near the walls. You can see we're trying to keep it smooth. It is a track that you did have to really just take it easy on, especially, I mean, if damage was on, it'd be a case of being even, like, you know, really taking it smooth, but no damage on, so some people were really pushing. As you can see there, the guy in second place really pushed it there hard there, clipped the wall, nearly had a massive moment and lost a little bit of time, so that gives us a little bit of opportunity to get into his slipstream. So we're back into fuel mixture 1. You can see I was saving fuel through the whole of that section. What I was trying to do was keep it in fuel mixture 2, and it just kept the car a bit smoother through there and saved a bit of fuel, and we were still short shifting even though it was in that fuel mixture 2. And then we're going down the straight, and then at the end, about this point, I was putting it up to fuel mixture 3. This is the point where I've learned I should have really been putting it to fuel mixture 6. As you can see, we started to gain on the guy quite drastically there. That is what he was doing. He was putting it into 6 at the end. I wasn't aware of that. I should have really been doing it, but we know that for next time we come back to this track. This was my first race in this car. Like I say, I wanted to try out new cars, and I specifically wanted to try this car out before this was before update 1.15, obviously, where the fuel consumptions have been altered. So I wanted to test this out to see what the fuel consumption was like compared to others, and it was clearly better than the other GR3 cars. You could actually last this race without pitting. As you can see, the guy in the lead was going for that all-out drive aggressive. He's in first place, and he was pitting, as I think he was in a he might have been in Evolution or something like that, a Mitsubishi. I can't exactly remember, but we'll see at the end of the video. But as you can see now, I'm managing to hold on to the guy in second place reasonably well. We're putting in fuel mixture 2 again through the twisty section, up the hill, and then down the back part where we're going through the twisty downhill section. We're just keeping it in 2 through them sections. You can see there, I really enjoy watching that video camera from looking back from the perspective of the guy in front of me. I love watching the way the cars move about in this game. It just looks so good. I could just sit there watching these all day from that view. As you can see there, he starts to pull away a bit through this section. Obviously he's pushing, look how close he's getting to them walls. Sparks are coming from the wall. He's really pushing that car through there. I think he probably was still using the 1 mixture through this section because he seemed to be gaining a bit through it, but I didn't really feel the need to, because if I kept it on 2, it wasn't a massive loss, and it just kept it so much smoother through these sections. I wasn't really losing that much time, and I was probably gaining a bit of the fuel back through that section using 2, and then obviously he was getting the fuel back at the end of the straight where he was going to fuel mixture 6. As you can see there, he starts pulling away a little bit. He got a better exit out of that corner than us, but he must have been looking back at the camera. I have a feeling he was probably doing what I do there sometimes, looking back to see behind him, and then obviously gone a little bit wide and gone on the dust a little bit. But you can see we're having a great battle. We've got cars behind us. Looking at top right hand corner with the cameras, you've got a car behind us, a car in front of us, an Aston Martin right behind me there, and then just behind them there's some more cars battling away. That Aston Martin was obviously, I think he was a bit pitting as well, obviously, because that Aston Martin can't really last this race without pitting and driving reasonably fast. As you can see, if you can hear it as well, when he's right behind, you can really hear the noise on that Aston Martin. It's just, this game's just made, I have to give credit to, I mean, I know the sound bugs that are in patch 1.15 have come about. Obviously this was recorded before, but when you compare this game for sounds, to how the older games used to sound, this game really is so much better. It's up there with some of the best, I have to say. I mean, compared to Project Cars, that has gone downhill in the sounds. I mean, Project Cars 2 sounds are pretty awful, I have to say. I do like the game, but the sounds are really bad on Project Cars 2. I don't know what they did with the sounds, but this, they've got the sound effects so nice on this game. I really do enjoy it. Especially, obviously, if you're just watching the replay cameras, and obviously I've got the sound from in my car at the moment, but when you're watching the replay cameras and you can hear the cars going past, they sound really good on this game. I do enjoy it. As you can see there, you can see on the camera looking back from the guy in second position there, you can see we're starting to fall back a little bit, but I wasn't too worried. We were really struggling with this fuel consumption with this car compared to the others, and it's because we weren't using that fuel mixture 6 at the end of the straights. Obviously it's logical, when the car's hitting the reasonably high top speed, you might as well put it back down to 6. You're only going to gain a few miles per hour, so you're only going to lose a fraction amount of time. But you're going to gain a lot of fuel by doing that. That's where the car uses a lot of fuel at that top speed in 6th gear when you're really going for it. That's when the car will start using a lot of fuel. So that's where we were slightly losing out on the fuel mixture, and we should have really gone higher. I mean, obviously I was doing it to, I think, level 2 or 3 sometimes. And sometimes I don't think I was even doing that. But now I know that for future reference, so I know that we can gain a bit more speed. You can see we're only going to level 2 here because I just wasn't aware that's what people were doing. I was doing it more so for this corner, just so that I got a smooth exit and entry into the corner. If I would have gone down to 6 and then put it back to maybe 3 for that corner, then back to 1 on the exit, that probably would have saved me so much more fuel, and then would give me more fuel to use for 1 through the middle section, rather than using that mixture 2 that we were using to save the fuel. As you can see, the guy behind us, he's having a little look. If you look on that top right hand corner, had a little look, pulled back in, and he's not gone for that move there, and he's actually made a little bit of a mistake on the exit of that corner. I think there, yeah, he's dropped back a little bit as I think he got a little bit loose coming out of turn 1, and give us a little bit of clear breathing space. As you can see, second place starting to pull away a bit now, as we're starting to have to look back in our mirror and check where he is, whether he's going to throw one up the inside. To be honest though, I wasn't really going to fight this guy in 4th position. There was no reason for me to fight him. I knew for a fact he'd have to pit, so there was no point me battling away and trying to block him, and I was just driving my own race. You can see I wasn't really even moving out the way. When he had a little look at that inside line, I just kept on my line, because I thought, you're not going to throw one up there, it's not worth the risk for you. As you can see there, we managed to catch up a bit on second place there, as he made a mistake through the twisty section. He lost a big chunk of time as he got the car a little bit loose, I think, there. And again, he's scraping that wall. You can see the sparks coming off, especially on that top left hand camera. You can see the sparks flying back as we're getting really close again now through the downhill section. He's on the dust a bit there, get a little bit unstable. He clipped the wall, and he clips the wall again, and annoyingly I couldn't really do anything there on the downhill section. He made a mistake, and we got a penalty for that. The penalty system again causing problems. Whether this issue has been fixed in the upcoming patch, as he has obviously had to take a penalty, because I'm presuming he got quite a big chunk of a penalty for hitting both walls there. So he's took that penalty, and we've got the Aston Martin behind us. I'm not going to fight this position, it's not worth my time. All it's going to do is lose me time. So I'll keep it at fuel mixture 2. I'm not going to worry about it. I actually go to 3 because I know I'm going to go in his slipstream, so I just let him pass, stay behind him, and just think, you can do what you want, because you're pitting and I'm not, and you're not really in this race. So I let him go ahead and drive on, and he actually decides to go for an early pit stop, which made them even better for myself, really. I mean, I would have liked a bit, probably just to maybe see if I could hold on up the straight in the slipstream, just use fuel mixture 2 just to save a bit more fuel, but he's out the way now, so if he makes any mistakes, we're not going to lose out. Although we still got that penalty there on the top of the screen because of that incident, which is a bit frustrating, because this is what's annoying me about this game. You don't need to give a penalty for little incidents like that. I think little incidents like that should just be you just get a timed 1 like iRacing, and then if you accumulate a certain amount in the race, then you're disqualified. Little things, little taps like that don't deserve penalties. It's not worth giving people penalties for little tiny knocks like that. It just kind of ruins the entertainment, I think. I mean, fair enough, if someone's full on hits someone, then then they're going to get disqualified and stuff, but not for a little tap like that, especially when it wasn't my fault. I mean, I couldn't predict that he was going to lose control of the car there, but as you can see there, we got about just over a second lead to the guy behind us. It was the guy that made the mistake on turn 1. He's obviously managed to get himself back up with doing some fast laps, and then obviously save some fuel in slipstreams behind cars, so he's probably got a bit more fuel than us. We weren't really close enough to the guy in second to really save much fuel down the straight, so we've used a fair amount of fuel. So back into second mixture, 2 mixture for the downhill section. The brake bias was, I think, -3 in this car. Again, it wasn't probably the fastest brake bias, but I'd set it just to keep it stable, and you can see I'm not really making many errors. I'm keeping it smooth, I'm not risking it on the walls. Everything looks quite under control when you're watching my car. It looks fairly stable. I think we could have pushed a lot harder, but I mean, I'm trying to practice as well for the FI races, and when you get to these FI races, if you drive with mistakes like clipping the walls, you're going to get punished. So I was trying to concentrate on the race and just keep the car nice and smooth, as it's good practice for the FI races. As a guy behind is slowly gaining on us, but I don't really feel too under pressure from him, so obviously I'm still saving the fuel and fuel mixture 3 there through the corners. He's obviously going to gain on us, but I knew that I could go to fuel mixture 1 for the straights. As I could see on my if you have a little look on the bottom left hand corner, our fuel dial, it's reading okay. We've got 0.3 over the laps that I need. So I know that I've saved enough fuel to get to the end driving the way I'm already driving. You need to remember that laps remaining is based on the algorithm of how you have driven the laps you've already driven. So if I started driving 1 and aggressive, that would go a lot further down, and I wouldn't make it to the end. So I have to carry on driving in the same manner that I have been for them first few laps. As you can see now, just about starting to pull away a bit from second place there. So you can see that the guy that was in front of us now, he's closing in on the guy in second place. He's definitely got a speed advantage over everyone. I didn't have the fastest pace in this race, admittedly, but I felt I kept the car clean and stable enough to hold this position in first position. As you can see, the guy who was in the lead had pitted, and he's obviously working his way back through now. He's got to try and fight his way back up the field, and I think he's just behind the guy in third position. I don't know how far behind. You might see him pop up on the camera positions in the top right hand corner in a bit. Let's just see if he comes in. Yeah, I think, is that him then just popping in on the camera then? You could just about see, I think, let's just see. No, he's not there yet. He's not on there yet. So he's coming for us, and he's obviously got full fuel, so he can go flat out. I don't think he changed his tyres, which was probably a mistake. You know, tyre change is worth about a few seconds, 3 or 4 seconds, and it probably gives you more than that in terms of lap time over 4 laps. So I think he would have been a better move for him to change sides. As you can see, top 3 getting really close now. This is a great battle. This is why I love GT Sport. Just look how close these top 3 drivers are in this race. Not many other games you get racing like this on in a public lobby, just for a normal public lobby. Great fun, as you can see. Going into this corner again, I'm going to go down the fuel mixture. I know he can't really make a move there. I go a little bit deep into that corner, but he's not able to make a move. He's going to have a little look at it, but I'm going to stay on the defensive side here. Stay over to the left hand side, give him space, but I can see he's not really got even next to us. So, and this is the corner he took me out on the previous race, so I think he was a bit cautious there. He may have realised, although he didn't apologise for his mistake, which was a bit frustrating. If you take someone out like that, I think you should really at least say sorry. But it is what it is. And you can see going up the straight now, you can see the third place guy who was in the lead before he made that horrible mistake has got right in the slipstream of the guy up ahead, and he looks like he's going to make a move going into the corner. Let's just watch that camera in that top left hand corner for a bit as he's going up the hill. He looked like he was having a little look then, but he's obviously thought that's not really a move I can make. And second place, runs wide, clips the wall, and he takes advantage of that, and he's back behind us now. So now I know I've got a faster guy behind us, so this is where I need to really concentrate now. As you can see in that top left hand corner and top left hand camera at the top of the screen, you can see he's just behind me. He's under a second, so he's in the slipstream. He may have had to use a bit more fuel to get himself back up to this position, so I know that I'm able to probably defend on the straights a little bit. But if he gets too close to me going down the back straight, I know that there could be an issue in terms of him getting a move done on that long back straight with the slipstream. So I need to ensure I get a nice clean exit from this corner just down this hill every time. That is what my key to my race strategy was, basically to try and keep the car coming out of this corner as well as I can. So I was braking really early, lifting, staying in third gear, trying to keep it tight and getting on the power as early as I can. You can see on the power nice and early, And again, you can see in that on that camera running from the car behind us, you can see we start pulling away a bit, and then he's going to reel us in the slipstream. So the strategy was definitely working at this point. I was getting nice clean exits from that last corner, and we've only got to do that last corner one more time. As you can see, he's getting really close in the slipstream. Just look at that top right hand corner, he's getting really close there. And you can see also, you can see the guy who had pitted from the lead is also in on this battle now. He's right behind the guy in third place. You can see he's really pushing. He had some real strong pace in this race. You can see his fastest lap at 2 minutes 2.0. Really pushing well. But obviously, he's had the fuel to do that, but still, that is a very fast lap, considering you've got tyre wear and fuel in use in this race. But he's really pushing hard. We're just keeping our laps consistent and stable. You can see 2 minutes 4s and 5s, nothing too fast, and then obviously they're dropping off now at this point of the race where the tyres are starting to fade, starting to into 6s and stuff. So the tyres are starting to fade, but I'm trying to keep the car stable. That was the aim of this. Just try and keep concentration. You can see now 4 cars in one shot pretty much on that top right hand corner. Look at that, going through this corner. Just look how close we all are on that top right hand corner. All 4 just battling away to the end. It's probably split by about 1.5 seconds, something like that. This is what GT Sport is all about, and I was really starting to feel at this point. I was, you know, just concentrating on trying to keep the car steady. I hadn't won a race at this track today. When I did this race, so I was just hoping that this was going to be the chance where I've had a bit of luck. I've got myself in the right position with a little bit of luck, and I've kept it fairly clean, which is what I wanted to do. I didn't have the race pace really compared to these other guys, so I just had to try and concentrate on keeping it clean and making sure I don't make a mistake. So going through this really tricky section for the last time, again keeping it smooth, but I need to make sure I come out of that final corner with a little bit of a gap to the guy behind. So you can see I'm trying to keep it nice and smooth. Let's have a little look at his driving in that top right hand corner, and then you can see ours. We're taking a nice, really nice line through that corner, got on the power really nice and early, and we did that really well. But second place got a loose rear end, as he was going for that slipstream. You could see he wanted to get a really good exit from that corner and got on the power fraction too early, got a loose rear end, and the guy now in third position, who was the race leader, is now going to look at making a move. You can see in that top right hand corner, he's having a little look into the real fast section as they're side by side, I think, at this point, and they have a little, I think they actually came to a little bit of contact, but it was all fair in racing there. Well defended by the guy in second place. As they go through to the last corner, we're into the last part of the race, taking it nice and smooth, trying to make sure I get a nice clean entry and exit on this corner. We do it really well, going down the straight. We've got enough fuel to use one to the end. We go over the line. I really put my foot down there because I wanted to make sure with the penalty, but luckily the guy in second also had a penalty, and we go over the line still in first place, and second place holds his second, and third. And if you've seen also, fourth place made a mistake on the last corner again, lost control and hit the wall. So an absolutely brilliant race. I really enjoyed that. Hope you guys enjoyed it. We're going to be back with more of these videos very soon. Thanks again for watching. Make sure you sub the channel if you haven't already subbed the channel. Make sure you hit that notification button so you don't miss out on any future videos, and give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video and you want to see more of these videos. And we're going to be back with more GT Sport Project Cars 2 and Assetto Corsa in the future. So thanks again for watching, everyone.